You ready? You ready to do this?
Maybe.
Welcome to the Weekly Fury. I'm Josh.
I'm Sean.
And this is our weekly sports show where we will discuss various sports topics every single week, things that are relevant to us, and hopefully you find them interesting as well. All right, Sean, you ready? You ready to do this?
I don't know. Are you ready?
First episode, man.
Took us a long time to get this going, so.
Yes. Finally here.
I'm ready.
Let's go ahead and get right into it with our first topic of the week. We're going to talk about Thursday Night Football. We just watched Thursday Night Football.
It was interesting.
Yeah, man. I'll say this. At first, it looked like a boring-ass game. I thought
It really did.
I thought we were going to get like maybe a couple field goals, and that was it for the whole game. It was going to be a shit game. But then the Arizona Cardinals, they turned it up. And San Francisco...
It was interesting. It was.
Yeah, they scored a couple touchdowns. I was surprised about how many touchdowns were scored in this game. I didn't think we were going to get that much. I thought it was going to be a field goal game. I thought the final score was going to be something similar to like 6-9.
First quarter 0-0.
Yeah.
And I was kind of curious to see what Stanton would do.
Was it 0-0? I don't know.
It was 0.
Was it? Okay.
It was crazy. I was actually shocked because of the fact that at first it looked like Blaine Gabbert was about to outplay Stanton for a second, and then it just turned all the way around. 31 points, I think it was 31.
It was a fucking...
33 because they got that safety.
Yeah. So, Blaine Gabbert, man, that dude is terrible. I mean, he can run.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete. But I don't know if you caught this, but during the game, I mean, the fans started chanting for Kaepernick to come into the game. Because, I mean, he missed a couple of touchdowns. I mean, he was overthrowing. Yeah, he overthrew that one early in the game. That was just, the dude was open for daylight, and he fucking missed it.
You know, this isn't like the old NFL, man. You have to produce. You got to put up the numbers, and especially if you're missing wide open people. And he's not a rookie, so they're not going to be patient with you. It's not like they spent a high draft pick on you. I see Kaepernick starting probably next week, honestly.
Yeah, he's going to eventually start because Blaine Gabbert is just garbage. I mean, your fan base is going to turn on you. And if they want a quarterback who can run, Blaine Gabbert can run, but wouldn't you say Kaepernick is better at that?
I think the biggest issue that they were worried about with Kaepernick, and this has been like the whole thought process, I guess, is that he's still underweight to where he was. He's lost like 20 pounds since his surgeries. So I guess they just don't want to throw him out there until he's fully gained it back. But
I mean, but he's not like he's a franchise quarterback. Let him go out there and let him give. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want him to go out there and take a bunch of hits. You don't want any quarterback to take a bunch of hits. Period. So, but yeah, he's not a franchise quarterback. Chip Kelly's, he thinks anybody can fit in the system. So
yeah,
either of those quarterbacks might not be there next year. So.
David Johnson, man, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. Larry Fitzgerald, he went off. Those guys had great games. I actually picked San Francisco 49ers to win this game. I know you did as well too. Because Arizona just was looking like hot garbage fucking going into this week. And without Carson Palmer, I thought they were right for the picking. I thought this was going to be an upset. Unfortunately, that fucking
me and you both.
49ers let us down.
Me and you both. We do those pick'ems that we have, and we both picked the 49ers straight up to win. And
we'll get into that. And so
shocked.
Thursday Night Football, it turned out to be a bit of a game than I thought it was going to be. But I'm still waiting for that, that great Thursday Night Football because Thursdays need it. I need it. I need it in my life. I need a good Thursday Night Football game. All right, so that's Thursday Night Football. All right, moving on to our second topic, we're going to discuss NFL surprises and disappointments.
You got a few of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So let's go into surprises first. Yeah?
Yeah, let's go with surprises.
All right.
I think we both agreed upon pretty much every single one of these, right?
We discussed our surprises, and I mean, we went with Ravens being 3-1. I mean, I didn't see that coming. Being 3-1 and tied
Who
for
thought
first
they would be
place.
top of the division right now?
Yeah,
Nobody thought they would be number one. And even with the turmoil in the backfield, nobody knew what the running back situation was going to be. Now, their defense is playing phenomenal.
As crazy as that is, what about the LA Rams? They're fucking 3-1. And they're sitting on top of that fucking division right now.
Didn't we talk about it? We watched Hard Knocks. We watched Hard Knocks, and it just looked like this team did not look like they knew what the hell they were doing.
They just did not look cohesive. They just looked terrible. They looked like
crap.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And
let's not.
And in week 1, we were all right. We were right. Like, this team sucks. They couldn't fucking barely get a first down. They couldn't get in the red zone. And then they go on to fucking win all these games. So Rams, Ravens.
That's a surprise.
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, we're going to jump to that.
Yeah. Vikings, 4-0. We knew they were going to have a good defense, right? Everybody knew they were going to have a good defense.
That's good. Wow.
You lose Adrian Peterson. You lose Terry Bridgewater.
Oof.
And they're fucking 4-0 still. They've beaten Green Bay Packers.
That
was
the recipe of
legit.
The Denver Broncos last year.
Yeah,
lose your quarterback and still do good.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you think this Vikings defense is better than Broncos last year? I mean, so far they look like they're better.
I will say that based off the stats, right? They are right. They've been looking at all the stats compared to where the Broncos were last year. But my issue, the only reason I say the Broncos are probably a little bit better is because their pass rushers were better on the Broncos. DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller. They closed out games last year phenomenally.
Yeah.
The Vikings still haven't shown that completely with their fourth quarter pass rush, but they are doing enough early in the game, shutting down the run, and their secondary, man. Harrison Smith, that safety. Man, he does it all. And I
Xavier
love
Rhodes.
Him. He's one of my favorites.
He's shutting down all the receivers, man.
Him too.
Kelvin Benjamin, fucking shut him down. I mean, so that defense is for real. Vikings are for real. Moving on to our next surprise, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
They are 3-0. I think they're about to go 4-0. They're undefeated. Yeah. They're sitting on top of the division. I didn't see that coming, honestly. I thought it was going to be
crazy to me.
I thought the Giants looked good coming into this year. The Cowboys, even with Romo going down, I like Dak Prescott. We'll get into that. But I didn't see Philly being this good. I didn't see their defense being that good.
I don't think anybody did. And
I mean, Carson Wentz wasn't even the starter until a week before the season started when they traded Bradford.
I thought it was going to be Bradford, right? And then they come all of a sudden say, and then when they traded Bradford, everybody's like, okay, maybe it's going to be Chase Daniels. But nope. We're going to bump the third string up to starter.
And then
Carson Wentz.
And it looks like it kind of seems like this was the plan all along because this motherfucker looks so good. He comes in there and he just starts. He looks like a veteran, and that brings us to our next surprises.
Blows our mind. Exactly. That translates to
rookie quarterbacks: Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott. Romo goes down in preseason.
That is amazing to me. What these rookies are doing.
Yeah. Dak steps in, and he's doing a phenomenal job, man. Dak is doing great. We went to the Cowboys game, Cowboys versus Bears. As you can see, I'm a Bears fan. He's a Cowboys fan, so we went and we got to see his first passing touchdown of the year or of his career to Dez Bryant. This dude's gonna be something special. And Carson Wentz, man. I'm loving Carson Wentz. This dude is good.
I came into this year, and I even told you, I wanted Dallas to draft Dak Prescott, as I really liked him. I told you, same thing, Carson Wentz, I thought he was going to be a pretty good quarterback. I didn't expect him to be this good, though. Like, not this early. Like, I even coming into the season, and Dak Prescott did so good in the preseason. You know, everybody was so hyped about him. And I told you, I was like, rookies will always make mistakes. And I wanted to see the adversity. I didn't think we'd do this good with either one of them. And they both now, neither of them have thrown a pick yet. Neither of them have turned over the ball. That's phenomenal to me, man. That's the hardest thing when you come into the league for rookies, is quarterback-wise, is not forcing the pass. and neither of them have. I'm shocked right now. I love it because Dak Prescott, Cowboys all day, but I'm shocked.
So those are our surprises. Now moving on to our disappointments of the year so far.
You have yours. You go ahead yours, and I'll talk about mine.
Arizona Cardinals. We already talked about them a little bit. I cannot believe how bad they're doing. Their defense is so, in and out.
Yep.
It looks, sometimes they look like, the defense are supposed to be, and then they'll get burned. Arizona Cardinals, huge disappointment so far. I know they just beat the 49ers, but you're supposed to beat the 49ers. So they're a huge disappointment. Carolina Panthers, just fucking atrocious. I mean, on
Horrible.
both sides of the ball, they're getting destroyed. Yeah. And they were just in the Super Bowl, and they were the best team last year. And going into this year, there were a lot of people's favorites to go to the Super Bowl.
They thought they were going to be better.
I don't think they're even going to win a division. They're just terrible.
They got Kelvin Benjamin, and their offense looks worse. It's
the only one being consistent is Greg Olsen.
Which I love. I have him in fantasy. That's another story. Yeah, that's very true.
He's
man.
Mr. Consistency. You're always going to get production from Greg Olsen. So those are my disappointments, man. What the fuck
I agree with
those
you.
teams?
I do. I agree with you. I'm shocked with those two teams. Though both those teams were in the NFC Championship last year.
Yeah,
shocking to me. But I actually picked some other people, and I picked them on the other side of the field in the AFC. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah,
they were.
Me and you, we had them.
My underdog.
We were so hyped on them.
Blake Bortles, Allen Robinson. Then they go and revamp their defense. They get Malik Jackson. They draft Miles Jack, Jalen Ramsey, who's arguably one of the best defensive people coming out of the draft. I thought they were going to be great.
Yeah. Their
defense is worse than I feel like it might be worse than last year. So don't get me wrong, Blake Bortles this previous game against the Colts, he didn't turn over the ball finally. Right. But it is against the Colts, so I'm not going to take anything.
No defense.
I'm going to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to move on from that. My other disappointment, man, is someone else that me and you both were high on, and it's a specific player, and it's Ryan Tannehill. This guy has all the weapons in the world. He's got a great head coach now that is a great offensive guy, guru. He's worked with great players. He even made Jay Cutler look pretty decent last year, and Adam Gase. And Ryan Tannehill, I thought could be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and he's just shitting the bed. He can't throw the ball down the field, and I don't know. I'm at this point, I'm thinking he might not be the answer anymore. So
I mean, shit, they might trade him. So
I think there's been rumors, right? So yeah, those are my.
I heard a rumor that they might trade for Jay Cutler. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them, but. Out of all these teams, of everybody we discussed, Tannehill, Jacksonville, Panthers, Cardinals, who do you think can turn it around? We're just going into week 5. We're still a bit early in the season. There's still a lot left to go. Who can turn it around? To me, I think Jacksonville can turn it around.
Jacksonville's only one because their division's not that strong. You have Indianapolis there. They're horrible.
Fuck yeah, man.
I think Texans are on top of that division, but they don't even look that dominant, especially losing J.J. Watt. So Jacksonville is the team that I think that could make it bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think they're coming back.
Yeah.
All right. So there goes our surprises and our disappointments as of week 5, going into week 5. All right. Our next topic, we're going to go more into depth of the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton. Because they were just in the goddamn Super Bowl. They were favorites to go again.
How can we not talk about the Panthers?
So let's go in depth with this team just so we can shit on them more. Because I can't stand Carolina Panthers fans and how many bandwagon motherfuckers popped up on the scene, during their run last year, especially during the Super Bowl, and everybody's fucking dabbing all over the goddamn place.
It's horrible.
Sick of it. So we got to shit on them more. All right. what's going on with the fucking Panthers, man? What's going on with Panthers and Cam Newton? Like, their defense. Like, what's more surprising? Their offense doing bad or their defense doing bad?
You know, damn, that's a good one. You kind of stumped me on that one.
I would say their offense. Why? Because they lost Josh Norman. And they are really hurting now that they've lost Josh Norman because they're getting destroyed in the secondary. I mean, they look like one of the worst secondaries in the league. They got torched last week by Julio Jones for 300 fucking yards. They're probably going to get torched by Mike Evans for like 150 yards this week, at least. They're just terrible. So, Josh Norman leaving that secondary was just atrocious, and for them this year. So to me, my biggest surprise is the offense because you get Kelvin Benjamin back. You got Kelvin Benjamin. You got David Funchess. You got Greg Olsen. What happened? Like, weren't they supposed to be better
I don't know.
Offensively?
That's what's crazy.
They were the number one offense last year.
They got Benjamin back,
and he looked good for the first couple of weeks.
Phenomenal week 1 and 2, and then he's fallen off. I don't know what's going on.
He got
with
shut
their
down by Xavier Rhodes, so that, to be a little bit fair, he got shut down by Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah,
but now Cam Newton, their offensive line, they can't get in. They can't.
Falls on him, man.
Their offensive line can't get in protection, and he's getting hit like a motherfucker this year. I don't know how many shots to the head he's already had through the first 4 weeks of the season. And
he had at least 5 week 1.
And and he's going through concussion protocol, right? Like, did they? Yeah. I don't know if they said that he's gonna for sure play or not yet.
They said there's rumors he might practice Friday. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think they should keep him. I think they should keep him out because as many times he's getting hit, as he's got hit in the head. I mean, shit. In the first week, Denver, I think got hit like 3 or 4 times in the head.
Yeah, it's getting to that point
you know what though?
You get a little nervous for him.
I would sit him out 1 week. Just give him some rest, man. I mean, because he's not going to last a season. I don't care who you are in the NFL, how tough you are, how much you could take a hit. You cannot take a hit to the head that many times. Yeah. And the Panthers and Cam Newton are in trouble. And I don't know if they can turn it around.
One of my coworkers, and I think I told you this, he said this, they've lost their swagger, right? And
you don't see nobody dancing around anymore.
Last year, they had swagger because they were winning. And they were doing their dances and getting all pumped and having fun. But you can't have fun if you're not winning. And so it's kind of backfired on them because that's how they played so much. They played where they were having so much fun.
Yep.
And they went, 13-0 before they had their first loss last year?
They lost to Atlanta.
They only lost 1 game through the regular season. So they were having fun all year.
Yeah.
And it's easy to have fun when you're winning. But
and when you're losing, you're an asshole.
There's no more dad.
You turn into an asshole.
No more Superman. It gets to a point that you gotta clean it up and go to work. And it's not just about playing a game at that point. It's your job. And we'll see.
Panthers are in trouble. We'll see if they turn it around. Probably not. Cam Newton might not even last the season as much as he's getting hit.
John Stewart
has to figure it out defensively. So that's that with the Panthers. Moving on to our next topic.
Ooh, another polarizing
We're going into
figure.
another guy who has some issues.
That's saying it nicely, Josh.
Odell Beckham Jr. Everyone's talking about Odell Beckham Jr. and how what do you make of Odell Beckham Jr. this year? I mean, just a huge disappointment, right? Fuck.
He's getting a little emotional. He's kicking nets, and they're hitting back. So, OBJ, he's got to understand you are arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL, if not the best, right?
Yeah.
You make spectacular catches, and you're in the spotlight. So when you're in the spotlight, defenses are going to be in your face, and they're trying to get you to crack. So he's wearing his emotions on his sleeves, and that's good and all, but man, they're getting in he's allowing himself to get in his own head. To me,
everyone's getting in his head. He's getting into his own head. Exactly. I mean, this guy is losing his fucking mind this year. He can't do. I mean, he can't get anything going. I mean, he
Nope.
said it himself. I'm not having fun anymore. His head's not in the game.
Mm-mm.
No one's backing him up
Distraction,
neither.
man.
His quarterback came out and said something against him. His head coach,
The owner came out and said something. Former head coach came out and said something.
and he's playing for New York. New York is brutal.
They
It
have
don't
the biggest
matter.
spotlight.
It don't matter how many times you've won for them. It's all about what you've done for me lately. I mean, that's pretty much everywhere, but New York's even more so. New York can turn on this motherfucker really quick if he doesn't start producing and start catching those unbelievable catches that he can do. I mean, his talent didn't go away, but if he doesn't turn it around, he's gonna start hearing boos in the stadiums like a motherfucker. So I don't know, man. Do you think he could turn around? I mean, shit. I don't.
Well, he's got the thing is he's got.
He's
the
still got to
talent.
face Josh Norman again.
He's got the talent. Well, him and Josh Norman didn't really go at it. I liked how they kind of calmed that back a little bit, but I think they both knew the NFL was going to be watching them, right? But Odell Beckham, if he gets that supporting cast around him and get himself under control, he's got all the talent in the world. And I hate it because he's our arch rival, man. But he's got the talent. He just needs to put it together, just like Dez did those years ago.
I don't think he's going to get the support. I mean, they're not showing it now. You know, if you don't win, nobody gives a shit about you. And all the NFL teams that are playing the Giants this year, defenses are going to be like, oh, we can get in this motherfucker's head.
Yeah.
And so
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see.
So Odell Beckham,
Yeah.
fucking disappointment, acting like a crybaby.
So sad.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on.
Let's go on to
All right.
my team.
All right.
And
Talking
our
about
controversy.
we'll get into the fucking Cowboys because if we don't talk about the fucking Cowboys, Sean's gonna cry. He's gonna fucking throw a damn fit. So we'll talk about the Cowboys. Now, luckily for you, there is a relevant topic actually with the Cowboys.
Yep.
Probably a couple. But the biggest one, the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
We already talked about Dak, and he was one of our biggest surprises.
Yep.
Now, the hot topic that everyone's talking about is when Tony Romo comes back, do you stay with Dak Prescott or do you go with Tony Romo? Now, today, Terry Bradshaw came out and said that even with a healthy Tony Romo, he would go with Dak. What would you do? Do you think the Cowboys should go with fucking Dak?
Josh, I'm glad you asked me that question. So, first off, Terry Bradshaw, I feel like, is just trying to get a headline. Okay, he's trying to stir it up so he can be in the spotlight. No, you don't start Dak Prescott over Romo. Romo, when he's healthy, you can look at his numbers.
But Sean,
it doesn't matter.
he's doing great, you know, and he is great.
It doesn't matter.
Because you don't go with the hot hand?
Romo is the best, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. When he is healthy and playing, he's one of the best. Okay? The stats have showed it, and there's proof. Now, don't get me wrong. Dak's played phenomenal. But if anybody that knows football is watching him play, they can see that this offense isn't at full go. It's more dump-offs, short routes, running the ball, managing the clock. It's not opened up fully. Romo, you don't have to hold back. You can open it up, throw it deep to Dez more often.
But isn't the NFL about going?
That's what I.
Isn't the NFL more so than any other sport all about going with the hot hand? I mean, that's how Tony Romo got into his position. Drew Bledsoe went down. That's how Tom Brady got into his position. Drew Bledsoe went down, and when he came back both those times, fuck that. We're going with Brady. We're going with Romo.
But Dak. Don't get me wrong. Okay, you made some good points there, but Dak is not at that level. Like, to me, he's not a Romo. He's not a Brady. Okay, but don't get me wrong. I'm honestly really loving the guy because of the fact that he is handling this very professionally. Every time he gets asked that question, he's like, "This is Romo's team," and I love that. You got to have that mentality. And I still think you go Romo. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to be like so pissy and pissed off. I'll be mad if they don't go with Romo. But I think Jerry Jones, they have too much invested in Romo. He knows this offense better than Dak does. And you got to go with the guy that can run that full offense at full go.
You say that, But what about the rest of the Cowboy fan base? Because
Well,
I still live here in the DFW area, and we go to Cowboys games. We've been going to a bunch of Cowboys games, and we know Cowboys fans are really split with Romo. So if the fans,
don't get me wrong,
if Dak Prescott's the hot hand and he keeps winning, and the fans want Dak Prescott at quarterback, are the Cowboys in a tough position? Do you think they'll even consider it?
It's a tough position. It is. I'm not saying it's easy. And, I'm trying to take emotions out of it because, I love Dak, and he's going to be our future quarterback. But until you don't lose a job to injury, you don't. To me, that's my personal perspective.
Would go with Romo, too. You go with Romo. You go with him until you don't have.
God, this is why we're friends.
I guess. Oh. All right, so we're in agreement. We go with Tony Romo when he comes back. Dak Prescott, he'll be there long term. All right, moving on to our next topic. Another quarterback situation who's already back.
Yep.
Talking about the return of fucking Tom Brady. Holy shit. The New England Patriots, they went 3-1.
3-1.
Without Tom Brady. And pretty much mostly without Gronk.
Yep.
What happens with the Patriots now that they got Tom Brady and Gronk is coming back and he'll be fully, go with Tom Brady?
It's going to be crazy.
Belichick.
We both thought that they could be 1-4, and we thought at best they're going to be 2-2. It's a shock to me.
But why didn't that not happen? Why didn't that happen? Why did they go 3-1? Because of Belichick. He is the greatest coach of this era. And
all time.
Tom Brady coming back just makes him even more scarier. Tom Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, even though I fucking hate the goddamn Patriots.
You gotta
respect Belichick and Tom Brady. Tom Brady is still the fucking man. He's still got it. And he's got Julian Edelman. He's got Hogan. He's got Gronk. He's got Martellus Bennett. He's got LeGarrette Blount in the backfield. He's got James White. Deion Lewis will be back by the end of the season. This team is stacked, man, and they're playing good defense. Tom Brady coming back. He's about to light the NFL on fire. He's got a chip on his shoulder. They are going to win the AFC. Hands down. They're just going to destroy Belichick and Tom Brady. They're about to go on a killing spree. They're going to destroy everybody. Yeah?
I agree. He's definitely got a chip on his shoulder. He's got something to prove. And he was one of the top 2 quarterbacks last year, right behind Cam Newton last year. So why not continue? And he added another weapon, or 2 weapons, in Hogan and Bennett, which you mentioned. So, his offense is dangerous. I'm scared.
Fuck the goddamn Patriots. They're so fucking good. They're the Spurs of the NFL. They don't die. They just keep coming back. Anyway, so that's it.
You would have to say a reference of your Spurs. You would. I knew it. You fucking asshole.
I know I don't have them up on this banner here, but eventually I'll get them up. I got my Chicago teams, but I also love the Spurs. I grew up in San Antonio, so
nobody cares, Josh. Let's move on.
Okay. They're still the fucking one of the best teams. All right. Next topic.
What are we talking about now?
Talking about divisions.
Yes.
We are entering week 5. Who, from this point on, do you think are going to win their respective divisions? Which teams are going to win their respective divisions? Let's go into that. Yep. Let's start with the AFC, all right?
All right, let's start with AFC.
AFC East, because we just talked about that. Patriots, fucking Patriots. AFC West, I got Denver. They're 4-0. They have one of the best defenses. Them and Vikings. I like what they're doing offensively. Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, C.J. Anderson. That dude is really getting going this year. And I don't think it really matters who the quarterback is. Simeon, Paxton Lynch. Yep. They'll be good.
Broncos look great.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. And AFC North.
I think we're different on this one, Josh.
I don't know. We shouldn't be because I think it's just as easy. Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC North all day long. I was
this close.
I like some of the other teams. Baltimore's doing good. I like Bengals. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger.
I understand your argument, and I was this close in picking Pittsburgh. I really was.
You should have.
But I'm going with a gut feeling on this one. And the Bengals, even though they lost to Pittsburgh, it's going to be a battle. Even that game was a battle, and they actually held Antonio Brown in check.
That's not happening again.
You never know. But no, Bengals, they didn't even have their best defensive player. Burfict, I think, was back now. He's going to get in football shape in a matter of a couple games. They're going to be good. And they showed it just the other night against the Dolphins. They feed A.J. Green. They're great, just like Julio Jones. He's one of the best receivers. So I just have a feeling the Bengals are going to pull it out. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. The Steelers, they've been so up and down for me. And I don't trust their defense like I trust the Bengals. So I'm going to put them.
All right, so I'm going Steelers. You're going Bengals. AFC South, I'm going Jacksonville Jaguars.
You're calling them to make a comeback.
They're going to turn this ship around. They're going to catch Houston. No more J.J. Watt for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins, they can't really get him going. I think Osweiler fucking sucks. That was just a terrible move by getting him. I think Houston is going to go down. Jacksonville is trending up. And the rest of the two teams are just terrible. Colts and
only reason I don't agree with you is I believe the Texans. I'm going with them just because I don't trust. We've only seen one game of Blake Bortles not throwing an interception, and that was against the shitty-ass Colts, who just released Antonio Cromartie because he was their best corner, and he wasn't even doing good.
Okay.
But I got to go Texans here. Their offense, I think, will get going. Bill O'Brien just took over play calling. That's that.
All right. I got Jacksonville. You got Houston. All right. Moving on to the NFC. We'll start with the NFC South.
Let's do it.
At the beginning of the season, I would have told you easy, Panthers.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
As of this moment, I'm going Atlanta Falcons. Number one offense in the league.
Murder.
Defense is terrible. Maybe they turn that around a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. But I'm going Atlanta winning that division because the rest of the teams, garbage.
No other team is really doing good. Carolina, they're...
New Orleans, last place.
New Orleans finally got their first win, and they had to come back in the last second. So, I'm going Atlanta. Me and you are on the same page. I don't think anybody's going to be able to keep up with that offense. Simple as that.
Next one's easy. NFC North, Vikings. I'm going Vikings. Yeah?
It's sad. I was going to pick Packers in the beginning with Teddy Bridgewater going
out. I probably would have said Packers too. But
Vikings,
Packers.
Their defense is legit.
All right. NFC West. For me, it's easy. In the beginning, of the season, again, I would have picked something different. I would have went Cardinals. Mm-hmm. No, it's still Seahawks. It's Seahawks. They're still the team to beat. And
LA Rams are number one in that division right now, but that's not going to last that much longer. It's Seattle all day.
Now, here's where it's going to get a little tough for you. A hard pill to swallow. In the NFC East, if you don't say Philly's winning that division, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. Because Philly has one of the best defenses in the NFL. Offense is looking great with Carson Wentz, Jordan Matthews. Philadelphia is winning that division hands down. What do you got?
This is tough. If I pick Philly, I have to pretty much just rip down this flag behind me and just, I don't know.
You will be disowned.
I would be disowned, and I'll disown myself. So I have to go with my Cowboys, and the only reason, and this is my only logical thought that is in my mind right now, and maybe it's all fan based, but my fan side's coming out. But their offense, Dallas's offense, is one of the best offenses, I think. When Romo comes back, will be one of the best. Their running game looks fucking amazing. Ezekiel Elliott is leading the league in rushing now after those two not that great of games in the first 2 weeks. Okay. So I'm going to go Dallas because I think their offense, when Romo comes back, as long as he stays healthy, is one of the best. Even with Dak, it's still looking pretty good.
All right.
So,
going Philly, and you are going with Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Fan side coming out there.
All right. Moving along. Now we are going to talk about Week 5. Who we got winning all the games.
Yep.
Week 5. Here is our list. Here is who we got winning. Me and Sean's picks.
Yep.
And as you see here, me and Sean are different on 7 games. This is probably the most we've ever been different on.
Never. Maybe 3? What, 3 or 4? Maybe.
Maybe a week. So
great.
Our first episode of this show, it's good that we are so different because it just makes things better. It makes things better.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into why you're wrong with your picks, okay? Okay, so let's talk about one of our first differences here. Chicago and Indianapolis. The Bears are going to go into Indianapolis. They're going to go into Naptown, and they're going to kick fucking ass. Brian Hoyer is doing amazing, and they're going to destroy the Colts because the Colts have no defense, and Andrew Luck in the offensive line are atrocious.
That's true. That is true. No, don't get me wrong. You are right on the point of Indianapolis having no defense.
So pick the Bears.
I don't trust the Bears. First, they
Jordan
just
Howard
last week in my damn Survivor pick. I picked the damn Lions. But anyways, that's another story. But I just feel like Indianapolis Colts are too good of an offense. You know, with Andrew Luck, your Bears don't have a good defense. I'm sorry, buddy.
We are one of the top 10 defenses in the league.
I don't care. I just really, this might be all feeling and gut, but I think it's going to be in the Colts. The Colts are due for a fucking win.
You just hate my Bears.
I do. You're absolutely right.
All right.
I just don't want your team to win.
All right, so you got the Naptown Colts winning, and I got the Bears winning, of course. Our next difference is Washington Redskins versus Baltimore Ravens. I don't know what came to your head to think that Washington was going to win. But Baltimore's a damn good team. Offense, defense.
I had a genius moment, Josh. That's why.
They're going to beat Washington, especially playing at home. They're going to beat Washington.
You know,
easy.
I can see where you're going with that because, you know, Baltimore does have a good defense. But I feel like Washington's getting their stride on offense, so that will cancel out. And I don't think Baltimore's offense can keep up with Washington's, and personally. And it sucks because they're a rival, and I don't want them to win. But Washington, Matt Jones got it going last week. Jordan Reed finally got it going last week. It's going to be Washington. It's got to be, to me.
You're wrong, Ravens, and we will find out.
We will find out. And you're going to be eating these words next week.
Here's another one we're going to find out. Titans, Dolphins. I got Dolphins.
I couldn't believe you went Dolphins.
You picked Titans. I picked Dolphins because they're too good of a team. They're playing at home. They're going to play better eventually. And why not against the Titans? Why not against the Titans?
Yeah, we said that like 2 weeks ago about the damn Dolphins. We thought they were going to do good against Cleveland, and they almost fucked that shit up.
Landry's going to have 120 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He will, but they'll still lose because Tannehill sucks. I'm sorry. When your team is thinking about trading the starting quarterback there's a problem, okay? Titans are going to pull this out. DeMarco Murray has been playing phenomenal.
Hey, he's
scoring touchdowns. And so I'm going to go with the Titans. I don't think the Dolphins, they don't have a good defense, and they can't stop the run to save their lives. So why not pick the guy that's leading the league in touchdowns with DeMarco Murray?
All right. It's your choice.
Yeah, it is.
Here's another one you've picked wrong. Falcons, Broncos. I'm picking Broncos. At home, Falcons have one of the worst defenses in the league. Yeah. And they have a great offense, but going against Broncos, at home, and while they're at home.
This one's tough. This one was a tough one actually. I was on the fence, and I'm just a big believer of that offense, man. I really am, because it's a dual threat. They have multiple weapons even in the passing game. It's not just Julio. It's not. Against the Saints, they didn't even have one reception to Julio. So it's not just Julio. And it's not just Devontae Freeman. They have Tevin Coleman. They have Jacob Tammey. They have Mohamed Sanu.
Coleman might not even play. He might even play a few snaps.
That's true. But I feel like, first off, Denver doesn't even know who their starting quarterback is. They just said it might be a game day decision. It does matter. It does to me, because of the fact that the Falcons can put up points. And if you're going to have a rookie, yeah, he did good last week, but he came in already winning that game. So it's a little different.
I think you or I can suit up at quarterback and throw a touchdown against this defense. Falcons, they're that bad.
We'll see. We will see, but I'm going with the Falcons. I'm a believer. I believe in Matt Ryan. Matty Ice is back.
Okay, so here's another one we're different on, and surprise, Bengals at Cowboys. Of course, the clear choice here is the Bengals, because offense, defense, oh my God, they're going to kill the Cowboys. But you got the Cowboys. Why?
Because I'm a fan, and I have to. Like, if I look at the reasons why the Bengals will beat the Cowboys, yeah, of course, Bengals. But I'm a fan, and I'll admit it. I'm not going to be naive about it. I just think the Cowboys can pull it out. And, yeah, I might be stupid.
That's crazy.
That might be the only one I might be wrong this week on. Just saying.
Just that one? You're going to be getting quite a few derogatory texts from me that day on Sunday. Okay, so
I don't expect anything less.
Our last two picks, what we're different at, are actually our upsets of the week.
Yep.
Now, we'll go with your upset of the week. Okay. Chargers, Raiders. You're going with the fucking Chargers?
I am, and I don't know why. You know, I was sitting there when I was looking at this, and I was like, all right, what's my upset of the week? And I just looked, and I don't know why. It just hit me. I'm like, the Chargers are due for a win. They've lost every single game they've lost this year has been they've had double-digit points ahead, and they gave it up.
Yes.
You know, I think that – and Raiders are that team that actually has been coming back and beating teams at the last second. Right now, I just think that the luck runs out for the Raiders, because you can't keep winning games like that. And I think the Chargers are finally going to show up on offense and not be stupid and run the ball and fumble it. I'm just saying.
Do you think Melvin Gordon over under 120 yards rushing against the Oakland Raiders? Because they have one of the worst rush defenses in the league. I have it on my fantasy, so I'm just asking.
I think he has over 120.
Okay.
I say.
Good. I have them on fantasy, but they're still going to lose.
Now, let's talk about yours.
Yes.
Let's talk about your piece of shit upset. The Bucks versus the damn Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Bucks are not going to win this game, but let's hear what idiotic viewpoint you have on this.
The Panthers fucking suck. They fucking suck.
So does the Bucks.
No, I don't think so. They have a good team. Jameis Winston, Mike Evans.
I think you're too much in love with Mike Evans, Josh.
Mike Evans is my hero. Mike Evans is my guy.
Very, very scary and creepy how much you like Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is my guy. He is he's my receiver, man. He's one of my favorite receivers in the entire league. That's why we're gonna go watch him play live this year. We'll get into that later, but Bucks have a great team. I think they're very underrated, offensively and defensively. The Panthers are just right for the picking. You saw what Julio did against that secondary. Why can't Mike Evans do anything like close to that? Like not 300 yards, but like 120, 150 yards and a touchdown or two. Cameron Brate, that's a guy that not a lot of people are talking about. That tight end. He's their second best receiver in that team. He's a beast. And even if Cam Newton plays, and they're playing at home, I still like the Bucks. I think they're going to go into Carolina and they're going to pull off an upset and Panthers are going to be in the bottom with the New Orleans Saints.
I don't think so. I think you're stupid.
But we're going to find out this Sunday.
We will.
And next week, we'll see who was right and who was wrong.
We're going to do a recap about all this shit.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, so that does it for the first half of our show. Moving on to our rundown. Okay, so first up, let's talk about a big fucking deal that's going on right now.
It's that time of the year.
It's October, the Fall Classic.
Yep.
The MLB playoffs are underway.
Started today.
And, yeah, we started today as of this recording. Let's go into the series and who we think is going to win. And let's start with the ALDS series. Cleveland versus Boston, the Red Sox.
Great.
Cleveland scares me. I think they can honestly beat anybody in the entire playoffs and win the World Series and pull off like this not Cinderella story because they're a pretty damn good team all year, but like something similar to the Cavaliers and, bring finally home a championship.
That city's on a high right now.
Yeah, they're riding that high.
They're playing one of the best baseball ever since the Cavs.
That would be so crazy if the Cavaliers and the Cleveland Indians win their championships
right now. Mind blown.
So I'm rooting for Cleveland, but then again, I kind of like Boston because they have a really good team, and David Ortiz is last year, but he already got his. I'm going Cleveland. I'm going Cleveland in that series. Too. All right, so the next ADLS series, Toronto Blue Jays versus the Rangers. They've already played once, and they'll be playing again Friday, which is today.
Rangers lost the first one, man, and it was embarrassing.
No, they didn't just. Yeah, there you go. Embarrassing. It was an embarrassing loss. 10-0. Bautista had 3 home runs.
10-1.
Okay.
Get your shit together.
Okay. All right. So Blue Jays are up.
We didn't get shut out. Okay.
Blue Jays are up 1-0. Are you surprised? Because the Rangers weren't they like the number one team in the AL? So
they are. And honestly, I saw all my friends on Facebook and everybody talking about, I want to see us play Toronto. I want us to beat them. Blah blah blah. All this stuff because of what happened last year, the bat flip, and then Odor knocking Bautista out.
He knocked him the fuck out.
Oh, man, that's still the greatest.
Well, he didn't actually knock him out, but he laid him.
Oh, he looked dazed. I was nervous about this, man, and I still am. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the Rangers are going to win the series. But I figured there's going to be so much emotions, and I don't like it when you have that many emotions from past stuff.
They got to chill. They got to chill out.
Exactly.
Get their head back in the game because I think the Rangers are definitely better than the Blue Jays, and they should win the series. Now, moving on to the NL series. You got Dodgers and Washington Nationals. I like Washington. The Nationals.
They've been playing great all year.
Great pitching. I mean, they're just Dodgers. No, I mean this is not.
I don't feel it. I don't feel it.
This is not the 50s or 60s. So going Nationals. Now,
let's talk about your Cubs.
Chicago Cubs versus the San Francisco Giants. Now, I'm not going to lie here. I'm a little worried because even though the Cubs are clearly the superior team of all these teams, San Francisco Giants, they win every even year. And this is the team that's made for October. San Francisco Giants love October. That's where they get their shit together and they just go on a run. They're dangerous, man. Every other year. Dangerous. So, but they kind of scare me because of their consistency with that. But Chicago Cubs are just way too fucking good, and they'll be winning this series.
This could be the year, Josh. I picked the Cubs too, but I really think this is the year for y'all to finally break the curse.
So, yes. So that brings me to this point. We said who we think are going to win all these series. Who's going to the World Series? And I don't think anybody who's watching this, I think they can catch on pretty quick. Rangers and Cubs. It's gonna be the Chicago Cubs versus
that's what we want and that's what we think
versus the Arlington Rangers.
It's Texas Rangers. All right, better watch it, Mr. Cubby over there.
That's what I hope for. I mean,
that would be awesome.
Rangers and Cubs. I mean, I live in the DFW area, so
I'm in Austin. I will drive down there to see my Rangers beat your Cubs in the World Series.
You know, if those two teams playing each other in the World Series is going to be a lot of red, white, and blue everywhere. You're not going to tell who the fuck when the camera pans across the fucking. You're not going to tell who's a Cubs fan and Rangers fan. It's all the same colors.
True.
But
I think it's going to be a great series.
That would be a great series. Our two teams in the championship, in the World Series. Yep. You know how much shit talking, the bets we will come up with.
We might not be friends after.
No, this is it. We just started this show.
This show's not gonna last, but maybe a month.
Yeah, it's gonna last for another 4 weeks, and then we're done with you.
Okay, moving on.
All right, so that's that. That's who we got in the World Series. No surprise, we got Rangers and Cubs, and we are both agreeing that the Cubs are gonna win, right? So,
no, not exactly.
All right, so moving on. Real quick, our next topic in the rundown.
Yep.
Pete Carroll. He came out and said something kind of funny. He says that this Seahawks team is his best team that he's coached so far, being with the Seahawks. That this is his best team.
I don't understand it.
I don't think so. I don't think the team that won the Super Bowl,
he's blowing smoke.
That fucking destroyed Broncos, or even the team that blew it against the Patriots.
This team is not the best. No,
I get why
he's still there. Their defense is still there. But
I get why he says that.
Say that they're better.
You know, I get why he says that. You know, because they lost, and you know he's trying to boost morale. I'm like, oh, this is my best team. Like. Because that's what he does, Pete Carroll. He loves to motivate, and he loves to.
He's a great players coach.
Yeah, he's a great motivator. So, but sorry, Pete Carroll.
I understand what he's saying. I just don't buy it.
Yeah, sorry, Carroll, not buying it. All right, moving on.
Ooh, I like this next one.
Okay. The best offense in the NFL. So far, through 4 weeks,
Atlanta.
It's been Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, and Tevin Coleman. Jacob Tamme. That's a force. But now here comes the Steelers. Now that Bell is back, you got Le'Veon Bell, and you got DeAndre Williams right behind him. Antonio Brown, Sammy Coates, and you got Big Ben. Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. That big three. Who is going to be the best offense from this point on, now that Le'Veon Bell is back? To me, easy. Steelers.
You know, like I said earlier, I am a believer
I know you are.
Falcons. And I'm going with them. I don't think it's going to slow down.
Okay.
And it's shocking, right? Like, how can you bet against Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell? Like, those two alone are arguably the best in their position. But, man, I feel like they have a better supporting cast in Atlanta, and I think Matty Ice is back.
Yeah, and Atlanta does have a better schedule. I mean, they're in the AFC South.
Oh, yeah.
NFC South. But, no, I'm going with Steelers. Okay. So, now, going to college football.
Don't give a shit about.
Going on to college football. Texas Longhorns are playing Oklahoma.
We have to talk about it.
Texas, yeah, we have to, because this is one of the biggest rivalries in all the sports. Texas Longhorns versus the Oklahoma Sooners, the Red River rivalry. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get really fucking crazy here this weekend in the DFW area. I don't follow college football. I don't give a shit about college football. It's boring to me. I love sports to death, but god damn, I can't fucking follow this shit. It's just terrible. So, what do you... I'm going Texas Longhorns because I'm born and raised in Texas, so I'm going Texas. But
Smart
you follow, but you know college football more than I do. Yeah. Who's actually going to win this game?
You know, Texas is looking. They've been so up and down. You know, I've been trying to keep up with a little bit more college. You know me, I'm not much into college myself, but this year I've been trying to pay more attention so I can have a little bit more information for these shows. So Texas does look good.
Watch way more than
their defense. Yeah, like I watch one game, that's more than you watch. So Texas's defense looks horrible, just horrible. That's why Charlie Strong, our head coach, just took over play calling because he's like, dude, we have to do something. And plus, his job's on the line here. Now, Charlie Strong has been winning against OU, so that's awesome. That's probably the only reason he's kept his job this long.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. I'm going to go Texas, but if Charlie Strong doesn't do something about that defense, I could see us maybe losing this game. So I'm hoping this change sparks something in that team. Or if not, OU could win. And I hate saying that because I think UT will, and they should. But, man, it's tough.
Can't have all those Ogies, right? That's what they call them, Okies. Those OU fans.
I just
coming here, talking shit, and then going home with a victory. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear them. Yeah. So Texas all the way. Yeah. All right. So next topic.
Oh,
David Blatt.
Blatt.
Now he was the head coach.
Yeah.
For some of you who maybe forgot, he was the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers for the first half of the season. They were the best team in the East, and then he got fucking fired.
Out of nowhere.
For no reason. Just
have no idea why.
Yeah, LeBron James, but no legitimate reason to fire him.
Yeah.
So he loses his job. The Cleveland Cavaliers go on to win the championship. And now they offered him a championship ring because he was the coach for half the season. And he came out and said that he's going to accept his ring. Would you, if they fired you for no reason and they go on the win, and that team goes on to win the championship, and you're David Blatt, do you show up at the ring ceremony and accept your ring? Is that embarrassing, or do you have pride to go, you know what? No. I was a big part of this, and I want to be acknowledged for that.
Yeah. See, I can't argue, or I can't be mad if he goes either way, right? If he had said, no, I don't want it, being prideful, I understand it. I understand why he's taking it, too. And honestly, I would do the same. Like, you put in your work. You did your job, and you made them the best team in the East. So you go get your ring. Go get what you deserve. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, I could understand people might say, oh, well, he didn't actually win the championship, right? But it's not like the team changed. Like, it's not like they brought in a new head coach. All they did was promote one of the assistant coaches, which pretty much kept everything the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a different player or coach that, you know, not confirmed, but LeBron James liked, right? So at that point, like, you go get what you earned. You had that team.
I'm happy he said he's going to accept it, and he deserves that. Exactly. And hopefully he gets another coaching job somewhere else.
I hate teams that fire coaches midseason. I hate it. It's just irritating.
Especially when they're winning.
Especially.
Oh.
Anyways. Oh, sorry.
Okay. All right. So that's that.
All right, we're on the home stretch here, Josh.
Here we are. Talking about our hero and our villain of the week.
Yep.
It can be anybody, Sean, whoever you think is heroic to you for whatever reason, and who is an asshole to you for whatever reason. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start first. My hero of this past week, I mean, just like superhero, Julio Jones.
Man.
12 catches, 300 yards, and a touchdown against the Panthers.
But that was phenomenal.
Man, that was something great to witness. That was something out of like a comic book. I mean, 300 yards on 12 catches. He's a superhero to me.
I hated
my hero of the week.
I hated him though. He's not my villain. But I just wanted to throw this out here.
Why?
I had that Ryan in fantasy. But at the same time, I was playing against Julio, so he scored just as many points as Matt Ryan, and I lost. So
to my girlfriend.
Asshole.
Okay, so who's your
Anyway,
hero?
My hero, I'm going to go more recent than you. I'm going to go literally tonight or yesterday when you all watched this video, David Johnson. God, this is what happens when you feed the beast. Finally, 157 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Guy looked on fire. Nobody could stop him. He looks great. And he's great out of the backfield. And, oh, man, he looked phenomenal. And I was a little worried about them stacking up the box, but that didn't matter, man. He ran the ball down the throats, which is awesome because I have him in fantasy, and we actually have a joint team with him, so I know you're a little happy about it. Awesome.
It's kind of bittersweet because in another league that we're in, the guy I'm playing has David Johnson, and pissed me off. He also had Larry Fitzgerald. It's not looking good, and I'm pretty fucking pissed off about it. So that's your hero. Now, villain of the week. To me,
this is a tough one.
I'm going with Odell Beckham Jr. He's being so detrimental to himself and to his team.
Yep.
He's making everything about himself. Maybe that's not his intention. You know, I know he's a passionate guy. There's a lot of passionate people, and sometimes they get flack for that. Yeah. But it's becoming a distraction. It's bothering his head coach. It's bothering Eli Manning, and they're losing. And Odell Beckham Jr., when he fucking got into a fight with that fucking net and he lost, that's like him fighting that net is the most memorable thing he did so far this season. And so to me, he's the villain of the week because he's hurting himself. He's too good of a fucking talent. He's hurting himself. He's hurting his team, and he needs to get his shit together.
Makes sense. It does. And I completely understand that, and I'm right there with you. But feeding off of what you said, my villain is pretty close to OBJ. It's actually everybody around him. Mm-hmm. This guy is the franchise. Like, usually you say that about quarterbacks, but this guy is the franchise. And this guy is going to be a special player. Nobody can deny that. He has a talent to do so. But his support around him is just shit. Yeah. Your head coach came out and called you out straight up, and that's horrible to me. You don't call out your best player on your team when he's trying to get his emotions in check.
Fuck no, that's something you do privately.
It's horrible. Exactly. You go up to him, you pull him in the office and say, "Hey man, we gotta get this together." Even your quarterback said something. Your former head coach, Tom Coughlin, came out and said something. Man, Tom Coughlin, I love you as a head coach, but you need to shut up. You're not part of the team no more. Don't be causing some, distractions in the headlines and causing drama. To me, that was stupid to me. I don't like it. I don't agree with how he's acting, and he does need to get his shit together. Yeah. But this reminds me of a situation with my team, Dallas. We had Des Bryant who was getting in so much.
True. Yeah.
So much. What did Dallas do? And they put a supporting cast around him. And look what happened now. He still has some shit that he deals with because he's an emotional guy, which you got to take the bad with the good. But you got to understand, you got to have some kind of level. And the villains to me is the support, man. You cannot be putting this guy when he's already emotional and you calling him out like that. It's horrible. Horrible.
That was good. All right. Okay. So now on to our non-sports entertainment topic of the week. Yeah. What, Sean, are you going to be doing this weekend, this coming up week? What are you looking forward to in anything that's not sports related? Movies, TV shows, whatever. What you got going on?
I'm glad you asked me that, Josh.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I wrote it down.
I've pretty much caught up on a lot of my shows. I just binge watch Gotham, so I'm already caught up on that.
I haven't watched that yet.
I've been trying to get you into that. And there's a lot of shows I'm trying to get you into. But the show I actually haven't caught up on, and it's one of my favorites, is Arrow. And the new season just released on TV, so I can't start that until I catch up on the last one. So sucks is Netflix does not have it uploaded yet. Usually they have it uploaded before the new season starts on TV, but for some reason, I don't know how they have it with the CW. They have a weird contract. So it's a little disappointing, but I do have a way to watch them without it being on Netflix, so I'm probably going to do that this weekend.
What season are you on right now? What season are you about to watch?
I don't even remember what season. Well, the most recent. I've caught up. I've already watched the.
So you're watching the most recent one before the start of this new one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the number. I forgot.
So you're going to be watching some Arrow. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Oliver Queen.
For me.
What about you, Josh?
For me, I'm a huge movie buff.
Yeah.
I love movies. I love to watch them, talk about them, dissect the shit out of them, and so I'm thinking about going to go see a couple movies this weekend and this coming up week. I'm gonna go see Birth of a Nation, which is movie. Yeah, it looks really fucking good. It's written, directed, and starring Nate Parker, and this is actually his first major film directing debut.
Really?
And this looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go see this. I'm gonna go see this with my girlfriend, and it looks pretty good. And another movie we're gonna go see is The Girl on the Train. And now my girlfriend's a little bit more interested in this movie than I am, but it still looks pretty decent. It looks kind of like a.
I'm on the fence on that one myself.
Yeah, it looks kind of like they're trying to do a Alfred Hitchcock throwback type of movie, like a little thriller mystery, and I'm really into those. So we're going to go watch Birth of a Nation, The Girl on the Train, and me and my girlfriend are going to catch up on the new season of American Horror Story, season 6. It looks really good, and me and her have been really good about not watching any spoilers or anything, so we have no idea what this new season is. I know you haven't watched this yet, but it's really good. Every season is a completely different new
we talked about that.
New
I haven't
theme.
gotten into it yet.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. Each season is a completely new theme with predominantly the same cast. So we have no idea what this season is going to be about, and it's really, really interesting, and I cannot wait. So that's what we'll be doing. And yeah. All right. So finally, on to our shout-outs of the week. Sean, who do you want to shout out? Anybody you want in the whole world, whether you know them, you don't know them. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I could shout out to a lot of people, and I'm surprised we didn't mention this earlier in the show. My shout out for the week is Rex Ryan. Now, this guy we all thought was about to be fired.
Rex Ryan.
We thought he was done. He was out. But this guy comes out and fires his offensive coordinator, which everybody said, you're an idiot. You're stupid. Why are you doing that? Oh, well, he comes out and shuts out the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And they looked pretty good. Their defense actually looked good. So I'm going to give him props. Like, I honestly thought, and I talked to you about it, that team was just shit. But I'm going to give him props for 1 week. He got it together. So we'll see how long it lasts, though.
All right. That's your shout out. My shout out of the week actually goes to my girlfriend. I'm giving her a shout out.
So cute, Josh.
Yeah, I know. But it just feels right. She's gonna be my first shout out for our first episode. She's awesome. I love her to death. She supports me in everything that I do, and she's real cool about everything. And so giving a huge shout out to her. And she's probably gonna be our biggest fan watching these. Watching these episodes.
Now you better break up with her.
Yeah. No, yeah. Wait, you haven't subscribed yet? Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
We're done.
No, actually, before I forget, I wanted to do another shout out, and I want to do a shout out to us. Just me and you. And I know that sounds kind of weird. I know that sounds weird, but listen where I'm going with this. Okay. We've been thinking about doing this, and I would just want to say this on our channel is we've been thinking about doing this kind of thing for a couple years now, and we're finally doing it. And it's just me and you were so nervous. It took us like 100 tries to start this video. It was horrible, but I want to shout out to us for actually taking this chance in this, and it's awesome. And not just that, us going to these games, us finally going to these games. And I'll let you go ahead and explain to them what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. So me and Sean, we've always talked about this. We've been friends for about 8 years now. Yep. And we've always talked about like how cool it would be to go to all the NFL games because, we just love the game so much, and we're not just a fan of the Cowboys and the Bears. I mean, we love them to death of our respective teams, but we are NFL fans. We appreciate, the Antonio Browns of the world, Julio Joneses, Tom Brady. Even though we fucking hate those guys, we respect the shit out of them, and we'd love to go see them play. So our goal is to go to maybe 4 or 5 games every year until we've been to all the stadiums,
every single one,
and we are going to 4 this year. We've already been to 1. We went to the Cowboys and Chicago Bears.
Yep.
And we're still going to 3 more. We're going to Nashville to go see the Titans and Jaguars for Thursday Night Football. That's going to be fun. We're going to go see the Tampa Bay Bucks and Atlanta Falcons in Tampa Thursday Night Football. And
Matty Ice.
And we're going to go to another Thursday Night Football. This is going to be awesome. We're going to go to Arrowhead Stadium in December. We're going to go see the Raiders at Chiefs. One of the oldest rivalries in the NFL at Arrowhead in a cold winter game.
December.
That's going to be great.
I've never experienced that kind of snow. And that's what I'm more excited about. And I'm a little nervous, too.
It's going to be great.
Because I've always lived in Texas. I've never experienced that kind of snow. Our snow is real slushy, and it's just ice. We don't
mostly
have
just
snow.
ice. And
so I'm excited. And
we're
of course, doing this.
Of course, we're going to take our cameras along, and we're going to document everything and our experiences going on our road trips there. We're going to go check out the sites when we go to these places, although I'm not really sure what to do in Tampa. Kansas State's got great food. Nashville, we've already been there, me and Sean. We went there before, and it was just amazing. Nashville looks amazing. It's got, great food.
The people are friendly.
Yeah.
So, we were shocked. Friendly. We're not used to that in Texas, so not in Dallas anyways.
We're going to have fun with that, and we're going to record our experiences going to these games, and we'll share that with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy watching as much as we did experiencing it.
Hopefully we have some subscribers out there. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. That brings me to the next point. We're ending the show now.
Yep.
If you enjoyed watching this talking sports, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everybody you know. Everybody.
Hey, even if you didn't like it, comment. I want to see.
Let us know what we could do better. What you guys would like to know going into next week. Hey, motherfucker, talk about this next week. Okay, all right. Well, maybe if it's good enough.
Talk shit about Josh because I love talking shit about Josh. No. So any more shit talking, any more help, it would be awesome.
Fuck that guy right there. Fuck him. Okay. All right. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And this has been fun. This is a long episode. We're probably going to shorten it down going forward. But it's our first try. And all right. Well, it was fun, Sean. Until next week, man.
Yep.
All right. Later.
Bye.